Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for sending all your work in yesterday. We're still not up to the 80% in each class because some of you are not sending in your work. Please send in your work to the Year 5 email, okay? Even if you just send an email to your teacher saying that you've done the work or that you're working on it or you're learning, that is still fine by me. Okay, so make sure you keep sending the work. And if you're looking at this and you haven't sent the work in, if you haven't sent any work in it, make sure you do it, or just send in an email saying that that you have done the work, even if you can't physically show us that you've done it. That is absolutely fine. So today's lesson is going to be very fun. It's all about timetables. Okay, timetables. Yeah, not timetables as in 2 times 2, 4 times 4. Timetables as in, what time does the bus arrive? What time does the train start? What time does your math lesson start? Your math lesson starts now, so I need to go so I can teach your math lesson. Goodbye, enjoy your lesson, and please end your work. Goodbye.
Right, so what are you going to need for the lesson? You're going to need something to write with and some paper. If you do not have these things at this point, please pause the video, go and get them, as they are very important for today's lesson, and then press play when you are ready to continue. Excellent. So what is our LI today? Our LI today is I can interpret information from a timetable. Okay, so your first task is to write the LI and the date at the top of your page. So please pause the video, complete this task, and then press play when you are ready to continue. Excellent. So we're going to start with our recap. Now, our recap today is all on perimeter, which we have done before this year. Okay, so this is really trying to retrieve all that knowledge you've learned from your mind and bring it out to really strengthen it and see how much you have remembered. So you have got 5 shapes here, and I want you to tell me what the perimeter is of each shape. So please pause the video, complete this task underneath the LI and the date, and then press play when you're ready to go through these. Excellent. So let's start with this one. Okay, now remember, perimeter is the length around the whole shape. Okay, so this is 17 centimeters. Okay, and this should say 6 centimeters. Sorry, guys. Let me just move that there. Yeah, so this was 6, this is 5, and we didn't know what this side was, but this side's the same as this side, so it's going to be the same. So it's going to be 6 centimeters, and you just add it up. 6 centimeters plus 6 centimeters plus 5 centimeters is 17 centimeters. Now the same for this one. We knew that this side was 15 centimeters, this was 15 centimeters, this was 15 centimeters, and these 3 sides are exactly the same. So each one's going to be 15 centimeters. So effectively what you just had to do was 15 times 6, which is 90, or just add them up. 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15 equals 90. Let's move on to this one. This one, we knew that this side was 57 centimeters, this side was 24 centimeters. We didn't know what these 2 sides were, but these 2 sides are exactly the same as these 2. So this side is the same as this one. So that's 57 centimeters, and this side is the same as this one, so it's 24 centimeters, and you just got to add them all up, which would give you 162 centimeters. And then this one, we knew this was 64, this one was 24 centimeters, but we didn't know what these 2 are. This one is the same as this one, so that will be 24 centimeters. This one's the same as this one, so this will be 64. And again, you've just got to add them up. 64 plus 64 plus 24 plus 24 equals 176. Now, this one was slightly more difficult because you were given this side, this side, this side, and this side. But you weren't given this side, you weren't given this side. And we can't just copy this because this is 15 millimeters. But then we've got the whole of this, okay? And then the same here. We've got nothing to compare it to, okay? It doesn't tell us, but we can use the information on it to help us. So we want to work out what the length of this line is, okay? Now we know up until here it's 15 millimeters because this tells you it's 15 millimeters. And we know from here to here is 8 millimeters because it tells you here. So all we have to do is add 15 and 8, which gives you 23. So this side is 23. And then here, okay, we want to work out this side. Now, we don't know what this side is here exactly, but what we do know is that this whole side here is 12 centimeters, okay? And then up to here is 7 centimeters. Okay, so this whole thing's 12, and then up to here is 7. So then to find out what this is, all you need to do is do 12 minus 7. And once you minus the 7, okay, you can find out how much is left. So then what this part is, which would be 5 centimeters. Okay, and then what you do is you just add it all up. So you'd add up 12, 15, 7, 8, 5, 23. Okay, and if you add that all up, it will come to not centimeters, in millimeters. Okay, it will come to 70 millimeters. Okay, and remember what we've done here is we've used the information to try and help us know what this length is and this length is. Okay, excellent. Now, if you struggled with that, okay, don't worry too much. Okay, I'd say maybe probably send me an email, or there's lots of stuff on the internet which you can look at to help you with perimeter. Excellent. Right, we're now going to move on to our starter. I've got 4 questions for you. First one is, how many months are there in 3 years? How many years are there in 25 months? How many seconds are there in 2 minutes? How many minutes are there in 125 seconds? Okay, so please pause the video, complete this starter underneath the recap, and then press play when you are ready to continue. Excellent. So how many months are there in 3 years? Okay, now in 1 year there's 12 months. So in 3 years you just do 12 times 3, which is 36. How many years are there in 25 months? Okay, in 1 year there are 12 months. In 2 years there are 24 months. Okay, but we want 25 months. So we're not going to have another year. All it means is we've got 2 years and we've got 1 month left over. Okay, so in 25 months there are 2 years and 1 month. Now, how many seconds are there in 2 minutes? Now, in each minute there are 60 seconds. So if we've got 2 minutes, it's just going to be 60 times 2, and that will give you 120 seconds. Now, the last one is, how many minutes are there in 125 seconds? Okay, now each minute is 60 seconds, so you can just kind of count it up. Okay, so you can just do 60 is 1 minute. 120 for another 60 is 2 minutes, and then if we were to do a third one, okay, that would be 180, but we don't want, that's too much. We only want 125, so we've got 2 minutes and we've just got 5 seconds left over, so that'd be 2 minutes 5 seconds. Okay, again, if you've struggled with this, okay, I'm sure most of you haven't, but if you have, don't worry about it. Okay, please just send an email to myself or look on the internet with your parent support or your guardian or whoever's looking after you support, and then I'm sure you will improve on this. Okay, right, we're now going to move on to today's lesson. Look, I've got this lovely fancy background for you. It's all about timetables today, and interpreting timetables, very important. So timetables tell you when different events will take place. Now, this is a task for you. Can you think of some different types of timetables? So what you need to do is pause the video and have a think to yourself, speak to a family member, speak to the wall, speak to some grass, speak to a book, and then write down some different types of timetables that you can think of. So pause the video, complete the task, and then press play when you're ready to go through this. Excellent. So these are 4 timetables I thought of, and I wonder if you've got them as well. So bus timetable, a train timetable, a school timetable, and an exams timetable. Now, I'm sure there's lots more types of forms of timetables, and if you've got other ones that weren't on here, as always, make sure you comment below and let me know which timetables you were able to think of. Right, so being able to understand timetables is very, very important for your everyday lives, and I'll give you an example why. So if we think about a bus timetable, okay, this is a bus timetable. It tells you where the bus is going to be and when it is going to be there. Okay, now we use buses in our everyday lives, okay, to get from place to place, okay, and a lot of the time we need to be at places at specific times. For example, you need to be at school at 8:40. Okay, now, as a result of this, okay, if you are using the bus to get from home to school, Okay, it is very important that you know where it's going to pick you up and when it's going to pick you up. Okay, because otherwise there's a high chance you are going to be late. Okay, the bus tells you where it's going to pick you up, and it tells you when it's going to pick you up and what time you will arrive. Okay, if you don't know what time you're going to arrive, then most likely you're going to be late for school. Okay, so it's very, very important. This is just an example. Okay, timetables used for everything. Okay, it is very important that you understand timetables so that you can use them to help you. Okay, for example, taking the bus or train or whatever. Okay, so here we have a timetable. Okay, so I created this. In school, we have two buses. One leaves at 9, the other leaves at 9:10. Okay, they both go from Luther King to Churchill class. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through some questions to try and understand timetables and see what your understanding is like. So the question is, how long does bus 1 take to get from Luther King to Gandhi? So we're interested in bus 1 here. The bus arrives at 9 o'clock and at Luther King, and it gets to Gandhi at 9:05. Okay, so we want to know how long this journey takes. Now, the way to work out how long the journey takes is to find out the difference between these two times. Okay, once we found the difference between these two times, that will tell us how long it took to get from Luther King to Gandhi. Okay, so here we have 9 o'clock and we have 9:05, and we're trying to work out the difference between the two. Once we've worked out the difference, we would know how long it took to get from Luther King to Gandhi. When we're saying when we're saying like what's the difference between these two numbers, essentially what we're saying is how many numbers are there between this number and this number. Okay, and once we've worked out the difference between the two, then you can work it out. So this one arrives at, oh, my mouse has gone, sorry guys. This one arrives at 9 o'clock and it gets here at 9:05. Okay, so the first thing to do is say, are they the same hour? So this is 9 and this is 9, right? They're the same hours. At the moment, there isn't any difference. Now, what about the minutes? Okay, the difference in minutes. So this arrives at just 9 o'clock, bang on the dot. Okay, and this one arrives at 9:05. So 9 and then 5 minutes. Okay, so essentially there is a difference here. The difference is between 0 and 5. So we need to work out the difference between 0 and 5. Now, as I said before, we're just saying how many numbers are there between 0 and 5. Okay, I've put here, I apologize, I do make quite a few mistakes on these PowerPoints, but when you're trying to create them in video, sometimes things go wrong. So I apologize. So we're trying to work out, oh, I've done it wrong again. 0 and 5. Come on, Mr. Owens, get it right. Yeah, 0 and 5. So you just count up. You just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that is 5. Okay, so from Luther King to Gandhi on bus route 1, okay, it takes 5 minutes. Okay, and you would just write that in your answer. 5 minutes. Okay, it's not rocket science, people. Excellent. We're now going to go through another question. So, same bus tab again. Which bus gets from Churchill to Luther King quickest? Okay, so what I want to know is both buses go from Luther King to Churchill. I want to know which one gets there quickest. Okay, so how do we work this out? We just find out the difference between each of the buses and then we can just compare them. So I'm going to work out how quickly this bus gets from Luther King to Churchill. I'm then going to find out how quickly bus 2 gets from Luther King to Churchill. And once I've done that, okay, I can just compare them because I'll know how long it takes. Then I'll just see easily. So bus 1 starts at 9 o'clock. Okay, and it gets to Churchill at 9:15. So I need to find the difference between 9 o'clock and 9:15. Okay, and once I have done that, okay, I would know how long it takes to get from Luther King to Churchill. So just do the same process. Okay, are the hours the same? So 9, yeah. So they're both the same hours. Okay, and then it's the minutes. Are the minutes the same? So this is 0 and this is 15. Okay, so there is a difference there. So we need to find out what the difference is between 0 and 15. The difference between 0 and 15 is 15. Okay, so for bus 1, it takes 15 minutes to get from Luther King to Churchill. Right, now we're going to do bus 2. Bus 2 arrives at Luther King at 9 o'clock, 9:10, sorry, and it arrives at Churchill at 9:15. So we need to find the difference between 10 past 9 and quarter past 9, 9:15. Okay, so how do we do that? Just check if the hours are the same. If they're the same, then fine. And then we just check if the minutes are the same. So this is 10 and this is 15 minutes, so there is a difference there. So then we need to find the difference between 10 and 15. What is the difference between 10 and 15? The difference between 10 and 15 is 5. Okay, and as I said in this one, okay, it's when we say what the difference is, essentially what we're saying is how many numbers are there between 10 and 15. You just count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so bus 1 takes 15 minutes, bus 2 takes 5 minutes. Okay, so when this says which one is the quickest one's going to be the one which takes the least amount of time, which is obviously 5 minutes. So 5 minutes is shorter than 15 minutes. So bus 2, okay, is the quickest. Okay, now you're going to do an example for me. Okay, you're going to do this. Okay, so here we have our same timetable, and the question is, how long does bus 1 take to get from Gandhi to Churchill? So how long does bus 1 take from Gandhi to Churchill? So please pause the video, complete that task, and then press play when you are ready to go through this. Excellent. So the bus 1 arrives at Gandhi at 9:05 and it gets to Churchill at 9:15. Okay, so we don't know how long it takes to get from Gandhi to Churchill. Remember, the way to work that out is to find out the difference. Once we've worked out the difference, we then know how long it takes. So 9:05 to 9:15. Remember, when we're saying that, what we're saying is basically how many numbers are there from 5 to 15, because the hours are the same, but the minutes are different. So we've got 5 minutes here and we've got 15 minutes here. So how many numbers, when we're saying what the difference is, how many numbers are there between 5 and 15? And you can just count that: 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and that is 10. Okay, so it takes 10 minutes to get from Gandhi to Churchill. Now, I've got a question for you here. Okay, this is the timetable again. Why is there a blank in bus 2's timetable? Okay, there's no time here. Okay, why is that? Okay, so please pause the video, have a think about that, and then press play and we will go through it. Excellent. So why is there a blank in bus 2's timetable? Okay, the reason is because the bus does not stop there. Okay, if there's a blank, okay, it means that the bus does not stop there. Okay, so bus 1 stops at Luther King, Gandhi, and Churchill, but bus 2 only stops at Luther King and then it jumps straight to Churchill. Okay, excellent. We are now going to go through our task for today. So superstars, this is your task. Here you have a timetable. It's a train timetable. And then I've got some questions to see if you really understand this timetable. So the first question is, how long does it take to get from Manchester to Burnley on train A? Okay, remember you need to read the question. Okay, number 2 says, which train gets from London to Burnley quickest, train A or train B? Okay, so which train is quicker from London to Burnley? Okay, is it train A or is it train B? Both of them go from London to Burnley. You need to work out which one is quicker. And train 3, sorry, not train 3. The third question is, does train B stop in Birmingham? Okay, does train B stop in Birmingham? Okay, so please pause the video, complete those tasks, and then press play when you're ready to go through this. Excellent. So how long does it take to get from Manchester to Burnley? So from Manchester to Burnley, it takes 15 minutes. The difference between 8:25 and 8:40 is 15 minutes. Right. Question 2 is, which train gets from London to Burnley quickest, train A or train B? Okay, the answer is train B. Okay, so It takes train B 30 minutes to get from London to Burnley, and it takes train A 35 minutes to get from London to Burnley. Okay, so 30 minutes is quicker than 35 minutes, so train B is the quickest. Now, does train B stop in Birmingham? Okay, so you just go to train B and go down to stop in Birmingham? No, there's a blank, which means it does not stop there. Excellent, superstars. Now, I hope that was helpful. That is your tasks for today, but I would strongly advise that you carry on and do the Blue Zone tasks. But if you're not, then goodbye. Please make sure you send me your work. And if you're staying, hooray! Let's go on to the Blue Zone questions. So, Blue Zone, here's your questions. Here you have a bus timetable. And I've got 3 questions for you. First one is the time to get from Shelf Roundabout to Bradford Interchange the same for every bus? Okay. Which route is the slowest from Halifax bus station to Bradford Interchange? And the third question is, if I have a meeting in Bradford at 7:05, which bus do I need to take to make sure I am not late? So please pause the video, complete the task, and then press play when you are ready to continue. Right, let's go through these answers. So the first question was, is the time to get from Shelf Roundabout to Bradford Interchange the same for every bus? No. If you look at the first one, the 6:05 bus, it takes 25 minutes to get from Shelf Roundabout to Bradford Interchange. Next one takes 25 minutes. The next one actually doesn't go to Shelf Roundabout, doesn't stop at Shelf Roundabout, so you can't even do that one. And this one, this bus was 31 minutes, and this one was 29 minutes. So obviously they're all at different times. Okay. Now, the way I work that out, as I kind of just said, is just by finding the difference between, say, for example, 6:15 and 6:40, 6:45 and 7:10, 7:59 and 8:30, 8:31 and 9 o'clock. Okay, so by finding the difference, you can see how long each one takes, which then allows you to answer the question, is the time to get from Shelf Roundabout to Bradford Interchange the same for every bus? And obviously the answer is no, as I've shown you now. Which route is the slowest from Halifax bus station to Bradford Interchange? So again, what you're going to have to do is you have to go through each of these and find the difference between Halifax bus station and Bradford Interchange. So this one, for example, was 35 minutes. This one was 35 minutes again. This one was 38 minutes. Okay. This one was, this one was 38 minutes. This one was 47 minutes. And this one was 45 minutes. So 47 minutes is the longest. That's the longest amount of time. Okay. Which would be the slowest. Okay. So the route, which is the slowest from Halifax bus station to Bradford Interchange, okay, is the 7:43 route, and it took 47 minutes. Okay, now the last one was, if I have a meeting in Bradford at 7:05, which route do I need to take to make sure I am not late? Okay, so I have a meeting in Bradford at 7:05. Okay, I need to use the bus to get there. Okay, so I need to make sure I am there before 7:05. Okay, I'm in Bradford before 7:05. Now you need to look at this one. So let's start this side. Okay, right. This one gets to Bradford at 9 o'clock. That's way too late. 8:30, too late. 7:48, too late. 7:10. If I arrive at 7:10, it's too late. So I've actually got to get to Bradford at 6:40, which means I'll be early, but it means that I will not be late for my meeting, which is at 7:05. So the route I'm going to take is the 6:05 route from Halifax to Bradford. Okay, excelente. Now, Blue Zone, if you did struggle with that, okay, don't worry. I'd say maybe look over the video again, or look on the internet, do some of your own research, ask to speak to your parents, your carers, your siblings, or send me an email so I can give you some extra support on this. Excellent. Now this is your challenge. Okay. 3 trains travel from Halifax to Leeds on the same morning: the express train, the slow train, and the cargo train. The express train leaves Halifax 10 minutes after the slow train, but arrives at Leeds 10 minutes before it. The slow train takes 15 minutes to reach Leeds and arrives at 10:33. The cargo train leaves 20 minutes before the slow train and arrives at Leeds 30 minutes after the express. What time does each train leave Halifax, and what time does each train arrive at Leeds station? So this is a challenge, okay? What you may like to do is create your own timetable to help you answer this. I mean, you've got to kind of work this out, whatever. This is obviously a problem-solving question. It's very difficult. I'm going to be honest with you, it's not easy. But don't worry, okay? See it as something that's amazing, that's going to challenge you, okay? I would advise using my 5-step process if you'd like, okay? Because I think it will maybe help you organize things in your head, but it's up to you. So please make sure you send me your work to the Year 5 email at year5@grange.harrow.ch.uk. Have a fantastic day. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing your work. Goodbye, guys.